Alright, grab a coffee, because today we're diving into one of the biggest what if questions out there. What if dinosaurs never went extinct? For over 160 million years, these incredible creatures ruled the Earth, dominating nearly every niche imaginable. Then, about 66 million years ago, BAM, an asteroid hit, causing a mass extinction event that wiped out most of them, paving the way for mammals to thrive. But what if that asteroid had just missed? Or been much smaller? The world we know would be unbelievably different, and honestly, a little terrifying. Let's explore that wild alternate reality. So, let's start with that crucial moment, the Chicxulub impact. Scientists agree this colossal asteroid was roughly 10 to 15 kilometers wide, striking the Yucatan Peninsula with the force of billions of atomic bombs. It plunged Earth into a nuclear winter, blocking out the sun, collapsing food chains, and leading to the demise of the non-avian dinosaurs. But what if it had skimmed past our planet, or fragmented into harmless pieces? In this alternate timeline, the dinosaurs, especially the larger ones, would have continued their reign, adapting and evolving in ways we can only imagine. No cosmic reset button means no rapid mammal takeover. Without that mass extinction, the world would remain a dinosaur's paradise. Think about it, the very first mammals were tiny, nocturnal creatures, scuttling in the shadows, constantly avoiding being a dino snack. It was only after their giant overlords vanished that mammals had the chance to step into the daylight, grow larger, diversify, and eventually, lead to us. So, in our what-if scenario, our furry ancestors would likely still be small, perhaps even more specialized for a life spent hiding, never quite getting the evolutionary breathing room to become the dominant life forms they are today. We might not even recognize them. So, who would be running the show? We'd still have the terrifying apex predators like a hypothetical descendant of T-Rex, but also incredibly diverse herbivores filling vast landscapes. Imagine sauropod-like creatures, perhaps even larger than their ancestors, still browsing on forests. Flying pterosaurs, or their more evolved descendants, would dominate the skies, possibly with even greater wingspans. And what about aquatic dinosaurs? Mosasaurs and plesiosaurs might have evolved into even more formidable ocean dwellers. The variety would be staggering, and honestly, a testament to the incredible evolutionary potential of these animals. It's a world where large is the default setting. Now for the big question, would humans even exist? And if we did, what would that look like? Our evolutionary path is deeply tied to the absence of large predators that could easily outcompete or simply eat us. Without that void, our primate ancestors would face immense pressure. We'd likely be smaller, more arboreal, and our brains might not have developed the complex problem-solving skills needed to outwit something like a velociraptor's evolved cousin. If a sentient species did emerge, it might not be us, or it would be drastically different, perhaps specializing in stealth, camouflage, or communal defense rather than building cities and inventing smartphones. Think about it, every step would be a game of survival. The entire evolutionary tree would look totally alien. The age of mammals simply wouldn't happen. Instead, we'd be in the continued age of dinosaurs. Evolution doesn't stop, of course. Those surviving dinosaur lineages would continue to adapt and diversify, filling new niches. Some might even become smaller, more intelligent, perhaps even evolving into highly specialized forms that resemble birds in some ways, but retain their reptilian heritage. We might see highly social, pack-hunting dinosaurs, or enormous, slow-moving filter feeders. The diversity would be truly mind-boggling, a living testament to millions more years of uninterrupted dinosaur evolution. Which is wild, by the way. So, let's say against all odds, humanity, or a human-like species still evolved. Our civilization would be fundamentally shaped by the constant presence of dinosaurs. Our technology, architecture, and even social structures would revolve around survival. We'd need defenses against massive predators, perhaps building cities underground or in fortified, elevated positions. Agriculture would be a nightmare with giant herbivores trampling crops and carnivores viewing our livestock as easy meals. We might become expert trackers, living off ingenuity and stealth, always on guard. Forget about walking freely through a park, every outing would be a dangerous expedition. This is a world where humanity never truly becomes the top of the food chain. If cities existed, they'd look nothing like ours. Imagine structures built specifically to withstand or deter giant creatures. Think enormous walls, maybe even tunnels and skybridges connecting elevated platforms. Transportation would be a huge challenge. Roads would need to be reinforced, perhaps even built underground, to avoid massive dinosaur traffic jams, or worse, becoming part of the food chain. Our energy sources might be different too, perhaps relying on geothermal or hydropower that's less disruptive to giant ecosystems. Forget fossil fuels, we wouldn't have millions of years of buried plant matter to convert if the dominant life forms kept recycling all that biomass above ground. It's a logistical nightmare. Ultimately, a world without the dinosaur extinction is a world where humans, as we know them, probably don't exist. Our entire history, culture, and technological advancement hinge on the conditions created by that asteroid impact. It's a humbling thought, isn't it? The sheer randomness of a cosmic event determining the fate of entire lineages. While the idea of living alongside dinosaurs is often romanticized in fiction, the reality would be a far more dangerous and challenging existence, likely leaving little room for the peaceful, complex civilizations we've built. We owe a lot to that asteroid, even if it meant saying goodbye to the giants.